Along with Wyclef Jean and Lauryn Hill, Pras Michel was a founding member of the Fugees. With over 20 million albums sold to date, the Fugees remain one of the biggest selling hip-hop groups in history. Pras' latest project, though, is not about music, but rather a unique documentary called Skid Row. For 9 days, he went undercover as a homeless person here in downtown L.A. First of all, let me shake your hand and say thank you.
Thank you, thanks.
Let me say thank you. I want to say thank you for a couple things. One, thank you first for your music. The music down through the years has been inspiring and uplifting in so many ways. But thank you for this documentary. I was just in a conversation the other day, Pras, with some people about the fact this issue of homelessness, like back in the day, was like at the top of the American agenda. Everybody was talking about homelessness. And if I've heard the word homeless 3 times in this entire presidential primary, you know, I've heard it 30,000. I mean, I just haven't heard this issue come to the fore. So thank you for the piece that you've done, and I look forward to people seeing it. Let me back up now to talk about how this piece came to be. You and I were actually jawing with each other, going back and forth before we came on the air here about the fact that you're a great Scrabble player, and I like to play Scrabble. We're gonna get together and play sometime.
Yeah.
But this whole idea came up over a Scrabble game. Tell me the story.
Yeah, I mean, basically, 2 of my friends, you know, we play very competitively. So it was my turn to play. We play with a timer. So our style is more like chess, poker style.
Oh, that is competitive.
Yeah.
You got a timer going on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I was
Think
about to do my bingo word.
Yeah.
And I think they figured it out. So as I'm about to figure out where I'm gonna place my word to get the maximum points, my friend Rob was like, "You know what you should do, Pras? You should do a documentary on Skid Row. I live a couple blocks away from it." And I was like, yeah, Rob, whatever, because I felt like he was trying to distract me.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we do. We distract one another. We try to.
I got you.
We play like that. So,
Yeah.
And then he never brought it back to me until like a couple months later. And I started to get more into it. And then last year, after we tried to do the Fuji reunion after the VCast launch, I just went into it, you know. And I kind of like went into it kind of like very like naive. You know, I thought it was gonna be easy. You know, wasn't that at all.
So for 9 days, you go undercover, hidden cameras. You're wearing a camera yourself. And what happens over the 9 days?
I mean, what happened in the 9 days kind of like changed my life, and it's going to continue to change my life. I mean, I experienced everything. You know, panhandling, sleeping on the sidewalk. You know, the rats trying to get into my tent, defecating, urinating on the sidewalk. Because you know, when you're homeless, you can't go into restaurants and use the facilities, you know. So it was just actually seeing the reality. You know, we have this misconception that, oh yeah, people who are homeless are usually lazy or they're on drugs. And that's not actually the case at all. I mean, people who are chronically homeless, that means where they need assistance to get out of their situation, only make up about 20% of the homeless people that's down there. The rest are just regular people who just misfortunes.
As a black man, you kind of fit in. You know these numbers better than I do, but I think certainly people in our community, in the black community, would be shocked to hear that proportionately there are more black men on Skid Row than anybody else.
Well, let me give you this. In the state of California, about 35% of the population are Hispanics, and they make up about 25% of the homeless, right? Caucasian makes up about 27%. And they make up about, say, 26% of the population that are homeless. African Americans make up 9% of the population in California, and we make up 45% of the homelessness in Skid Row. So those numbers right there tells you everything.
So a lot of brothers out there.
Yeah, a lot of black people.
Yeah. There's some poignant pieces in this documentary. Let me just take 2 or 3 of them and get you to comment on them. One kind of funny and yet not funny at all. There's a point in the piece where you out on the street doing your homeless thing undercover, and above you there's a billboard.
Oh yeah. That wasn't planned either.
I know it wasn't planned, but it's funny. I'll let you tell the story.
Well, basically, it was panhandling, and I went to ask for some money, you know, asking people, and they were just like giving me that cold shoulder, you know. And above me was that Fuji, because we had just launched the VCast, a big Fuji VCast. It must have been about like 12 feet, right above me, and people didn't even recognize or notice. I mean, I had a beard and everything, but it goes to show you, like, when they don't see you like the glamorous life, No one really cares.
So you're panhandling on the street underneath a billboard that features you and Wyclef
And Lauryn,
Hill.
right.
And in that billboard, I'm told, I read this somewhere, in that billboard, you happen to have on a watch that cost about
40 grand.
40 grand?
Yeah.
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 The irony of that, man, is you out here panhandling. Nobody's trying to. Tell me about your panhandling experience, because I understand that you spend a lot of time trying to get your panhandle hustle on. So
Yeah.
what did your hustle turn out to be?
Well, you know, in Skid Row, you have to find a hustle, whether it be prostitution, drugs, and obviously I didn't want to do any of those things. So I figured panhandling would be real easy.
Right.
So my first day, you know, I was like, I'm gonna go panhandle, see what it is, you know. I made about like $30 in 4 hours. I was like, this is
$30 in
it?
4 hours. But you are a communicator, man. It's what you do for a living.
You're right. But,
you couldn't do better than $30 in 4 hours.
no, but listen.
Yeah.
See, there's a science behind panhandling. So I'm gonna show you. So the first day I make about $30 in like 3-4 hours, right? So I stop. I said, that's all because all I want to do is eat. I'm not making money to live. I'm making money just to eat. So I go eat at the Standard. Blew up my whole money, right? Next day, I spent 7-8 hours and I only made $6. See, what I didn't realize, because it was raining the next day. See, when you panhandling, you gotta go to a high traffic area, number one.
Right.
Number two.
I'm gonna write these down in case I
Right.
need it.
You ever need it.
Some money, yeah.
See, but what I didn't realize when it's raining, people are less friendlier. They just trying to get to their destination.
Anybody trying to roll their window down the rain to begin
Yeah,
with.
exactly. Well, see, I didn't realize that because I never had to panhandle before.
Right.
You see what I'm saying to you? So that's what I learned, that like and then if there's a couple other people panhandling with you, that spot is too hot because now people start thinking like there's a hustle going on.
It's not funny, but it is. The psychology of how you have to make this thing
is
work.
some real, the psychoanalysis behind it is crazy.
Yeah. Tell me, all jokes aside, you were out there for 9 days. At what point did you say, you know what, I'm done with this? I mean, you obviously stopped after 9 days. The question is, there had to be a point before you got to 9 days and you were like, I don't really have to do this. Enough of this documentary. I'm out of here.
Well,